Yeah, I know, baby. I just wanted a full Uber. That's it. I just wanted a full Uber. Call the cops or refund my money. Because you're not, if you refund my money, I'll get out the car. I cannot refund you your money. Why not? Why not? You are retarded. I requested a call. Get the fuck out the car.
Oh.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You got the right fucking.
All right, you guys. So this next wild story comes out of Atlanta, where the Atlanta Hawks and Atlanta Dream sideline reporter Tabitha Turner was pepper sprayed and assaulted by an Uber driver in the car on I-85 over air conditioned settings. So this all went down just a few days ago, and the fallout has been intense. It's been all over social media, and a lot of people started taking the side of the Uber driver, but that was only because of the narrative that she put out in a TikTok video. So let's get some background story on this. According to the police report, here's what we know. On June 21st, around 3:40 p.m., Tabitha Turner, who is the news reporter, she was fresh off of a work trip. She called an Uber for a comfort ride at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. Comfort lets you specify things like air conditioning or window preferences. But she says when she got in, the windows were down and there was no AC. Just the 90-degree plus Atlanta heat was blaring. So she says she politely asked for the air conditioning to be turned on and the windows be rolled up. But according to her attorney, the driver, Nicole Smith, she got upset. She pulled over onto the emergency shoulder and things escalated from there. So Tabitha refused to exit the car without a refund or the police. She began recording. And then that's when things turned violent. The Uber driver allegedly pepper sprayed Turner in the face, yanked her from the car, and according to Turner's attorney, he said she also pulled her hair out. I guess at the time she was possibly wearing locks, and she said she pulled her locks out. So a passerby captured the altercation also, and then police later confirmed that Smith, who was the Uber driver, that she was the aggressive party, and she has now been charged with misdemeanor battery and simple battery. They said Tabitha Turner, who is the reporter, she swung back in self-defense and even sprayed the Uber driver. Police said there were scratches on both sides. Now, according to the driver, she came on TikTok with a different story, a little slightly different. She basically said that Turner, the news reporter, had pulled out a weapon on her, and she claims that's why she pepper sprayed her. But at the time, she did not say what type of weapon. According to the news reporter's attorney, the Uber driver never mentioned anything about a weapon during the time of the altercation. She called the police department 2 days later to add that to her story. So they weren't buying it. And sadly, a lot of people on social media are falling for it. But let's take a listen to her story and then you guys tell me what you think.
I just want to share something. Before I show y'all the other side of my face, I want to know if I'm wrong. Because I'm very open. Why was I doing Uber today? I picked this lady up from the airport, right? I pick her up. We getting on about the ride. We about 15 minutes from her destination. She goes, it's hot in here. So I turn the AC up. No questions asked. I just turn it up. She goes, I just don't understand. I'm like, huh? She like, I just don't understand. This is a comfort car. Why are you doing comfort if you're not going to do what people ask you to do? I'm like, well, I just turned it up. Like, it's going to take a little second, for it to cool down in here. Like, bitch, I just turned it up. Like, literally not even a minute ago. Like, what do you think this is? Like, we're not sitting in an industrial fan. Like, I just turned it up. She's like, it's because you have the windows down and I can't feel it. I'm like, well, the windows are cracked. For one, they were actually cracked. I'm like, I keep on cracked because a lot of people get in the car and they are sick. I'm explaining this shit to this bitch. She goes, I don't care. It's about my comfort. I ordered a comfort car. You don't need to be doing comfort if you don't. I'm like, so why are you yelling at me though? Like, I'm like, who are you talking to? Why are you yelling at me? This is kind of crazy over some AC. She's like, I'm sweating. I'm like, actually, I think it would best suit you if another driver picked you up, actually. So I'm going to take you back to where I picked you up from. And we're just going to leave that at that. That was not good enough for her. She is going off. She is irate in the backseat, tripping. So I pull over. I'm like, actually, yeah, I'm going to need you to get out right here. So I pull over in Hateville. We're off the highway. Pull over in Hateville. I'm like, can you actually get out? She's like, no, I'm not getting out until you give me a refund. I'm not going to do shit. Mind you, she's recording this whole exchange. I'm like, yeah, but you can just get out the car and I can end this trip and Uber can refund you. I'm not doing nothing. You're going to pay me or you're going to take me home. I'm like, well, we're going to be sitting here all day because I'm not doing neither. Like, Uber will refund you. Get out of the car. In what world is it ever acceptable to sit in a stranger's car and then try to insinuate that you feel threatened after refusing to leave what you are perceiving as a threat, which is me asking you to get out the car? So then after that, I get out of the car and I flag somebody down because I'm recording. I flag a driver down, ask him to call 911 because she's just showing her ass. So I open the other driver's side door, like the passenger door. She goes, oh, bitch, you think you gonna touch me? I said, no, but I actually want you to get out the car. Can you please get out the car? Like, you're escalating this shit for no reason. Like, I'm not in the mood. Like, it's just a lot going on in my personal life to be dealing with some foolishness, because this is foolishness. This bitch goes in her bag to get a weapon. So you know what I did? I got back in the car because what the fuck is this? I got back in the car. I sit in my driver's seat. I'm like, so you are going to do what exactly? She like, if you think you're going to touch me, da-da-da-da, bitch, da-da-da-da. I said, okay. So I proceeded to grab my mace and I maced the fuck out of her in self-defense. Because if you're going to be behind me with a weapon and insinuate that you're going to harm me, I'm going to act in my best interest, which is to protect myself. And that's what I did. I maced the shit out of her. So then after that, she proceeds to lunge from the back and attack me. You see my fucking eye? This didn't even happen in the car. I get out the car because the car is full of fucking mace and I have bronchitis. I get out the car. This bitch runs up on me and tries to gouge my eye out. I have scratches in my eye. My eye has stitches. Fighting a bitch I don't even know is crazy.
It is crazy for sure. First of all, as an Uber driver, I would think that you would not accept a comfort ride request if you cannot accommodate the individual and provide comfort. Supposedly, the Uber driver says she likes to keep the windows down because people are sick. And so she does that to prevent herself from catching whatever they may have. But if you're going to provide that type of service in 90 plus degree weather to not have the air on, you are not providing a comfort ride. But outside of all of that, the reporter for the Atlanta Dreams, the Atlanta Hawks, she is very much so concerned about her job, possible future opportunities. So she went on the news with her attorney to discuss what happened, to clear her name. So let's take a listen to what he had to say. And then you guys drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts about all of this.
When you review the video and you have the audio, you'll see how calm my client is at that point. All right. She's maced. At the time that she's maced, it is clear on the video she is not being violent. She has not touched the driver in any way. She's not made a threat of violence of any sort. And this is the reaction of the Uber driver. When that happens, the incident doesn't end there for my client. This driver wants to finish the job. And she exits the vehicle again and comes back around, having now blinded my client. And as my client is literally trying to gather herself and remove herself from the vehicle, not being able to see, She is then grabbed and physically assaulted again, to which she has injuries that match those. Her hair was pulled out. As you can see, she has locks. We have that as evidence. All of this has been preserved and also shared with law enforcement. At some point in the altercation, and this is where it gets ripe for this Uber driver to do what she's really done, to really, to add insult to injury, to physical injuries. What happens next is my client is in fear of being pushed out into traffic, into really, really being severely hurt during this interaction. So all she can do is hold on for dear life. She can't see, and the Uber driver has a hold of her hair.
All right, so I'm going to stop it right there, but I can just imagine for Tabitha Turner, that had to be a really scary situation to be on the shoulder of I-85, having been pepper sprayed and can't see. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments below. And now that the Uber driver has a warrant out for her arrest, what are your thoughts in regards to how she could have handled this situation in a better manner? Always love to hear your thoughts. Drop down in the comments. As always, I'll talk to you guys in the next video.